Welcome, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and this is the NBA on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against Monte Ellis and the Milwaukee Bucks. And now time to hand things over to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back at halftime.
Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan. Next to me in the booth are Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. And a brief look here as State Farm presents our starting lineups. First for the Timberwolves, Rubio and Brandon Roy manning the backcourt. And at the pivot, a bruising and physical 6'11", 290-pound center. A battering ram in Pekovic. And it's Andre Kirilenko, and it's Love in at the four-man position. And for Milwaukee, Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis comprise the backcourt. And it's Samuel Dalembert manning the middle at the center position. Then it's Mbah a Moute, and it's Ilyasova in at the four.
You know, I thought the Minnesota front office did an excellent job with the Timberwolves last year. Made a couple of key moves. One was bringing Rick Adelman in to coach the team, and the other was getting Ricky Rubio to leave the European League that he was playing in and come play for the Wolves. Those two additions really turned that franchise around.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. And Rubio kicks to Kirilenko. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Here's Pekovic, and he lays it straight in. And Steve, the Wolves were a dangerous team before Rubio tore up his knee. If he can make a full recovery, Clark, they'll be a team certainly to be watched this season.
I agree. It's amazing the difference one playmaker can make, and Rubio completely changed the makeup of that team, Kevin. But I certainly also would think that Rick Adelman, being the head coach, was a factor as well.
That's a very good point. His experience, I think, helped that young team move along. Here's Pekovic after the made shot from Monte Ellis. Rubio dishes to Love. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Love's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Amute, a screen on Roy. Ellis, the pass to Jennings. "11 feet away, and it's Kirilenko with the rebound."
You know, it was interesting listening to Brandon Jennings last year in Milwaukee. He talked about watching Dwight Howard and Chris Paul trying to go to bigger markets, and that he was thinking about his own options, really implying that, maybe going to one of the bigger cities would be a preferred option for him.
Now, here's Rubio, following the miss by Monte Ellis. And it's sent back from Dalembert. And here's Love for three. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 or 4 so far.
And for the Bucks, trading away Andrew Bogut last season, retooling around Jennings, they certainly hope to keep him around.
And it can be tough for the small market teams, Kevin. The draw of the big markets is real for a lot of players. Sometimes they think being in a bigger city is better. Jennings is an LA native, so that's certainly his background, the big city, the bright lights. We'll see if he can find contentment in the Badger State.
Well, Mbah a Moute was a question mark coming into the league. People didn't know what position he was, but I'll tell you what position he plays. He plays winner, okay, because he can defend, he can score off the dribble, he can get offensive rebounds. He just does whatever you need of him to help win a game.
Well, he's a team player, and he was a winner at UCLA too. And the good scouts saw that quality. And they also saw a great athlete, a long kid who was a willing learner. All these things make a difference. Yeah, they had gold with that kid. Now, here's Rubio. The shot by Kirilenko, no good.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that. Well, I was impressed with the Bucks a year ago, guys. The bounce back from a tough 2010-2011 season. Milwaukee fought hard all the way through the end of the regular season and stayed right on that playoff cusp throughout.
Here's Rubio after the basket by Milwaukee. Open look. There's the block. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Inabamute kicks to Ellis. Feeds it to Jennings. Shoots over Rubio. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Even though they didn't get back in the playoffs and Milwaukee again missed, I think the Bucks showed everybody that they mean business by going for it and playing Clark to the bitter end.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kevin. You want to finish strong as best you can, so going for it like they did in the season where there wasn't a lot of hope can inspire a team, and we'll see if that's the case this year.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. Here's Ellis. Can't hit. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Scott Skiles. And Doris, what did he have to say?
Team rebounding is something he stressed to his side, and rightfully so when you face a player that gobbles up the glass like Kevin Love. He told me that Love rebounds at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate that fear, guys.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Now, here's Roy, looking for his first bucket of the game. 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Jennings off a pick from Ellis. Outside Jennings. It's good from the top of the key. 44 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Back to Kirilenko. Love with the screen for Kirilenko. The rebound by the Bucks. Outside Jennings. And there's the feed to Ilyasova. Shoots. And again, Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got his second basket. There's 18 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Rubio. Love with the screen on Ellis. There's the dish to Love. And no good trying to get that one. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Bucks lead by 1. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And for the Bucks guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
And they set the tone there defensively with their shot blocking. They've been really intimidating down in the paint area.
You know, in the rest of the game, Steve, shooters will be looking around for the shot blockers because of what's happened in this quarter.
Well, when you talk about Rick Adelman, coach of the Timberwolves, you think of really one of the most successful coaches that the league has seen over the last few decades. 7 years as a player, over 20 years as a head coach. Stops in Portland, Golden State, Sacramento, Houston, and now Minnesota.
Here's Ellis, following the basket by Kevin Love.
That's his comfort zone, so defensively, really nice job challenging the shot.
Here's Barea, and it's Ellis with the rebound.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them. And, you know, getting back to Coach Rick Adelman, I mean, he's made the playoffs in 16 of his 21 NBA seasons as a head coach, a winning percentage of around 60%. He's never won an NBA title, but he's certainly had good results throughout his career.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the bucket by the Bucks. Here's Barea, and again it's Minnesota. The Bucks have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. He dishes it to Gooden. He's going up against Love. The 15-footer, that's good.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
Ridenour, that's good.
I'll tell you what, right now, that mid-range jumper serving them well.
Yes, it is, guys. That's 6 of their last 10 points coming from that mid-range area. Too bad for Minnesota last year. Things were really going along smoothly, and then Ricky Rubio tore his ACL, which was a big loss for the Wolves. But this is a team with a bright future. A lot of good young talent and a great coach in Rick Adelman. Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
And it's Love missing. Yeah, Steve, it just seemed last year was just a glimpse of what the Wolves could accomplish. And as they continue to grow, and as a team, you have to look at their outlook on things, certainly. But from afar, it looks like their compass is pointed in the right direction.
Without question, Kevin, I mean, they still need to address some defensive issues, but they showed last year that they can get up and down the floor and score the basketball with anybody.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Yes, gentlemen, Kevin Love was 4th in the league in scoring last season with 26 points per game. He showed he could step outside and also score with his back to the basket, saying, quote, "I think there was a lot of figuring myself out, putting in a lot of work, and now I just have a whole repertoire of moves down there. A lot of fakes and counters and step backs and step throughs and up and unders, the baby hook still. As my game continues to expand, confidence definitely breeds success, not only in the post, but throughout my entire game. Guys, he's become a handful."
Yeah, he can do it all. Thanks, Doris.
His confidence really at an all-time high.
And there's a whistle that goes on Luke Richard Mbamute. That's his first foul.
Well, I love the fact that he's fighting hard on the boards, but you got to be smart, too. Over the back, that's an easy call there.
Well, that's simply the result of poor position under the glass. But at least you can't fault him for being passive. He was trying to be aggressive there.
Rubio dishes to Roy. With the fadeaway. No good. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. There's a minute 47 left here in the second.
A lot of turnover on Houston's roster this offseason, and Sam Dalembert was part of it. He got sent over to the Bucks, who desperately needed a center. And he might just be their man. He gives them a defensive anchor, and he's a good rebounder, too.
Here's Karolinko. After the made shot from Monte Ellis. Roy with it, picked up by Ellis. Kicks to Petkovic. Got a piece of it. Now Jennings and Mbamute the pass to Ellis. That is good. And now it's a 3-point Bucks lead.
And the Bucks obviously hoping Dalembert will be a big factor for them. They've got the scoring at other positions, particularly in the backcourt with Jennings and Monte Ellis. So what they needed more than anything was a defensive anchor. Dalembert could be that man.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Drew Gooden is checked in for Dalembert. Hundley comes in for Mbamute. And it's Udrich in for Monte Ellis. Timberwolves also changing it up. Kevin Love's checked in for Pekovic. Budinger checks in for Derek Williams. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Brandon Roy. Now, here's Ridnour. Rubio left side. Off the screen. And he gets the jumper to drop. Rubio's got his first 2 points.
And the defense really has to pick it up here, guys. They allowed themselves to get picked too easily.
To the inside. Oh, here we go. Rubio's got it on the fast break chance.
Oh, ridiculous move.
Tore it down that time. That's something he's capable of every trip down.
And it's just impossible to get tired of.
Yeah, there's always this excitement, this aura that surrounds him, guys, and the crowd senses it.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Udo's checked in for the Bucks. Ellis comes in for Beno Udrich. And then for Minnesota, Derek Williams comes in for Andre Karolinko. And Barea subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Here is Barea. It's a pick by Love. Barea kicks to Love. Off target from outside.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was kind of clumsy looking. He was not going to get away with that.
He climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
Now here's Ellis. He's got 6. Ellis off a pick from Ilyasova. Ellis kicks to Ilyasova. Kicks it out to Jennings. Tough break there, shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Second quarter ends in a tight one. The Bucks on top, up by 1. Make sure you stay tuned for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. Then we'll be back here right after that for the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Halftime at Bradley Center in a close one. Welcome, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce. A tight one for the Bucks, squaring off against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. Certainly an impressive start by Brandon Jennings. He's picked up 4 points, and he's also contributed on the glass. Also a strong first half for Minnesota, and nice teamwork offensively, moving the ball around. What a great way to play. Kevin Love certainly contributing with his play. He's got 8 points and also helped out with 2 rebounds. Thanks so much for being with us. Now let's get you back to Milwaukee as the third quarter gets underway.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Kevin Love with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Well, we know he can score, so it's not really a huge shock to see him put up these kind of big numbers.
And I would think that he most likely will continue to carry on this kind of play into the fourth.
Now here's Jennings. Near the three-point line, it's Ellis. Minnesota with the rebound. Love's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Milwaukee made the move to try and get back into the playoffs last season, but ultimately they came up short, in part because they didn't protect their home floor enough.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Fellas, last season, the first since Scott Skiles took over as head coach in Milwaukee that the Bucks were not in the top half of the league in defensive efficiency. Coach Skiles is looking to turn that back around, and he talked about his defensive philosophy. He said, look, the perimeter players in this league are very gifted with the ball, and almost all of them are great athletes. So you've got to be on. You've got to be competitive and stay in a stance. Your footwork has to be impeccable. What we challenge our guys to do from the first day of camp is guard your guy for 3 dribbles. If you can do that, we'll get the help there. Kevin, sounds simple, not easy to execute.
Well, Coach Skiles always challenges his teams defensively. Thanks, Doris. Timeout called the Bucks. Back to the Milwaukee Bucks. It wasn't the same intensity from the fear of the dear days last time when they played at home and it cost them, Steve.
Well, they were a mediocre team, and that's what average teams do, is they go 17-16, which is what the Bucks did a year ago. So they're trying to take that next step. They need more firepower offensively, so we'll see if they can continue to improve that roster.
Here's Jennings. After the basket by Minnesota. Dallenberg sets a screen for Jennings. Jennings can't get that one to fall.
Just 1 of 4 now to start this third quarter.
And Roy, here we go. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 4 assists now tonight.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, you'd like to see a little more out of the defense. How about trying, guys?
Now here's Ellis. 6 points for him. Comes up empty from 19 feet out.
Boy, Ricky Rubio sure made a big impact in his rookie season. Leapt into the starting lineup after 10 games. Unfortunately, had that ACL injury that cut short his rookie year, but he was fantastic, really wowing the fans there in Minneapolis.
Here's Ellis. Brandon Roy making his last shot. Looking to end his cold spell. Gets it to go. And it's 8 points for Ellis.
Well, Ellis is just a dynamic scorer, as we all know. A penetrator, a lane runner. He's a guy who can absorb contact in transition and still finish off plays. Just one of the best perimeter players that we have in this league.
He really is. He's always been a great scorer. He's been asked to take a lot of big shots. That's nothing new for him to have the ball in his hands with the game on the line. You never know. We might see another game winner here tonight.
And for Rubio, a big part of the Timberwolves' improvement last season was his play, having him on their team. Much better in the win column, and the fans responded.
Well, he's a uniquely gifted passer, Kevin. I mean, he sees things from various angles and makes passes that only few players can make. Not only fun to watch, but I think it helped make them more potent offensively.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, you looked at how the Bucks matched up against teams from the West, and they were pretty much on par with other playoff teams in the East.
And the Bucks with some changes. Drew Gooden has checked in for Dallenberg. Udo comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Dunleavy in for Mba'amute. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Derek Williams checked in for Pekovic. Budinger checks in for Andrei Kirilenko. J.J. Barea checked in for Brandon Roy. And Luke Rittenauer subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Up top, Barea. He's guarded by Ellis. Second shot opportunity. Love, no luck. The Bucks have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Ellis fires. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Jennings has got 3 assists now in this one. Getting the playoffs is so tough in both conferences, but the Bucks did what they needed to do, though, against the West to stay in the hunt.
Well, then they decided to trade for Monte Ellis, giving up Andrew Bogut. I think the thinking was they needed firepower, and Ellis has provided that for this Bucks team. I think this year they've got a much better chance to sneak into the playoffs as a result.
And the Bucks with some changes. Mba'amute's checked in for Ellis, and it's Udrih in for Brandon Jennings. Minnesota also making some changes. Pekovic checks in for Love. Kirilenko comes in for J.J. Barea. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Luke Ridenour. Here's Udrih. He feeds it to Dunleavy. Clock at 6. From deep, sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. Rubio dishes to Kirilenko. Over Mba'amute. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. Bucks have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Udrih, the pass to Dunleavy. That's good, and it's Udrih with the assist that time. Now it's a 6-point Bucks lead. The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, early on this season, the Timberwolves seemed poised to maybe make it to the playoffs. They were playing great and were a team on the rise, but after the Rubio injury, the wind came out of their sails and the starch out of their shirts.
A different look for Milwaukee. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Udo. Ellis comes in for Mba'amute. And it's Jennings in for Udrih. Kevin Love's checked in for the Timberwolves. Roy comes in for Andrei Kirilenko. Now, here's Rubio. He passes to Roy. He kicks to Love. Timberwolves passing it around. Roy kicks to Rubio. Love, good in defending. Feeds away. And that one's good. Love. Love's got 4 points this quarter. Bucks leading by 4.
Slowing it down here, smart. Play for the last shot of the quarter.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, dribble it down to 6 seconds or so and then go. That way you got a chance for a second shot if you miss.
It's back to Jennings. Lets it go from deep. Can't get it to go.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Bucks lead by 4. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report on our Sprite uncontainable game. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kev. The uncontainable game in this one goes to the Bucks. They had a plan to get an edge in this one, and they executed it perfectly. Hard to see them giving this one away in the final period.
All right, Doris. Now, here's Ridenour. And the pass to Rubio. Dishes to Love. Gallenberg's there. Passes it to Budinger. Beyond the arc. It's rebounded by Udo. Udo's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jennings with the ball. Ellis with a screen on Rubio. Jennings dishes to Ellis. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
And no defender was around him to influence that shot. It didn't hurt them there, but, you know, they can't make that mistake twice.
And the basket by Rubio. Milwaukee in the lead. And here's Jennings. Outside Jennings. Tries again. Nice shot by Gallenberg.
Well, he's an effort guy, Kevin, and so often his points come from second or third chance opportunities by hitting the glass and really staying relentless in his pursuit of the basketball.
And his shot blocking can't be overlooked. I mean, he's known to send shots singing backwards. I mean, he brings that intimidation factor at the defensive end for sure.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Budinger, and again it's Minnesota.
You know, really doing a good job of getting into the teeth of that defense here.
Yeah, they're having their way in the paint right now, guys. That's 6 of their last 10 points coming inside the lane.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
And the big story with Milwaukee last season, guys, was their divorce with Andrew Bogut. First overall pick in the 2005 draft. He was really looked upon as the foundation, the cornerstone for that club. But injuries kind of derailed what he had accomplished the last few years. And finally, Milwaukee decided to part ways, sending him to Golden State for Monte Ellis.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, exactly, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Scott Skiles said to his team. He told his guys, listen, we've got to make the most of every opportunity right now. We can win this game, but it's all about making every single possession count. Guys, we'll see if they can come back.
Overall, that trade a bit of a defense for offensive type of trade. The Bucks figured they'd be better off Clark bringing in a proven scorer like Monte Ellis. Put him in that backcourt with Jennings. It was rocket speed up and down and a lot of offense.
Yeah, potential fireworks there because Monte certainly can light it up. What's funny about that trade is that Bogut was the number one overall pick in that draft, and Monte was a second-round selection years later, though they get traded for each other.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Love the pass to Rubio. Pass to Roy. 6 to shoot. Pushes up. It's rebounded by Ellis.
Another rebound gobbled up. They are pounding the boards.
And a big part of the lead, guys, is because of the work they've done on the glass. I mean, they have the lead because they've rebounded well.
Timberwolves trailed by 6. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Pekovic kicks to Roy. Releases. Roy with another miss.
Now, normally that's a shot people make, but that's not really his bread and butter there.
Jennings drives in. Here's Dallenberg, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they send a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. And the Timberwolves call time here. They're behind by 8. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Rubio. Love dishes to Kirilenko. Rubio misses.
I think he's just got to compose himself, gather himself. He may be trying a little too hard out there. Let it flow, let it happen, don't force it.
Bucks leading by 6. Ellis, the pass to Jennings. Back to Ellis. Dallenberg sets a screen for Ellis. Feeds it to Jennings. 5 on the clock. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. 8 points for Brandon Jennings.
That's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately, his teammates have bailed him out.
And Rubio kicks to Pekovic. The feed to Roll. The dish to Love. Little turnaround. The shot will not go. Now the Bucks take it the other way. 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Jennings kicks to Ellis. Ellis off a pick from Ilyasova. Ellis draws the double. That's good from Ilyasova on the assist from Monte Ellis. And it's a 10-point Bucks lead. Now Rubio. It's Roy on the wing. Back to Rubio. From 10 feet out, Green for 2 points. 23 seconds left in the fourth. The Bucks have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Jennings against Rubio. They get a hand on it. That's good.
Well, for him, that finger roll is almost second nature. That's a tough shot for most players.
And so the Bucks take the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Monte Ellis.
Give me that beat, fool, it's a full-time jack move. Don't worry, Skano, I get back soon.